Hi Denise, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Alright, as you know, we are completing an assignment for my graduate class in school counseling. So as always for these sessions, I'm going to act as your school counselor and you're going to represent my student. Before we get started, I just want to mention again confidentiality. And that's that everything that you say is between us, unless that I think that someone's hurting you, you're hurting yourself, or you're hurting someone else. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So, how have you been since we last spoke?
Pretty good.
Good?
Mhm.
Has anything gone on? Anything new?
No, I just did talk to my parents more, that's it.
Okay, so you're talking about our homework assignment from last time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what were you supposed to do?
Talk to my parents about my major and stuff.
Okay, and were you able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you talk to them about?
About like the safety and all that stuff to make them more like okay with it. And yeah.
So you presented them with some facts. Can you tell me what some of them were?
That although it's like a scary like job environment, that like they take very like good precautions and stuff.
Okay, can you give me some examples of that?
Not exactly.
I think last time you mentioned stuff about precautions and safety trainings. Were those
Yeah.
some of the things that you talked to them about?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did they respond?
A little better, because they see that I'm actually like looking into it and making sure it's like safe.
Did they tell you how they feel, or?
Yeah. They said that they're still iffy on that, but
So they still had some concerns, but do you think that it made it better or worse that you talked to them?
I think it made it a little better.
Okay. Did they have any questions for you after that conversation? I know you had mentioned they were asking a lot of questions, and that was kind of what started
Yeah,
the issue.
They asked me if I was gonna go to a school that like is well known for like that major or not. I was just gonna go take it up at any school.
And what did you say?
I want to find a school that is like really
Okay.
big into it.
So have you started researching schools, or
No.
not? Okay. Alright, so I have my notes here. I'm going to give you your paper again, so you can do the same, take your notes, doodle, anything you'd like to do throughout our conversations. Something I have brought with me is a resource on college and careers. So it's a list of different websites that you can visit to maybe get some more information.
Okay.
So I'd like to give that to you and for you to take a look at it.
Thank you.
And specifically, I would like you to pick maybe one while we sit here today, as you look through them, that you're going to focus on in the next week. So there's some things about SATs and career choices, FAFSA, which we just talked about, the financial aid, and then some career research. So that may help you in some of your conversations about your parents. And then this is kind of job searches that can give you some ideas about the jobs that are available.
Okay.
So is there anyone that you're looking at that you think you'd like to take a look at?
The career research.
Okay. So that's going to be part of your homework for the week between our sessions. And maybe you can present those or use that in your conversations with your parents. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can take that with you. And some questions I want to go through. So we talked about your goals, which can you tell me again what they were?
To raise my grades.
Okay. So that was one of your smaller goals against your ultimate goal, which was completing the college process. Okay. I wanted you to think about and tell me why your goals are important.
My goals are important because completing my goals would help me in the future and get where I want to be.
Okay, great. And I want to also talk about your commitment to the goals. So your homework was the conversations with your parents.
Mhm.
So it sounds like you completed those, so that's excellent. So you do feel a commitment to your goals
Yeah.
and your homework?
Yes.
Okay, which is kind of improvement from last time. We actually completed the
Mhm.
conversation and the homework, so that's great. Pleased with that. I wanted to ask, can you describe in detail what you intend to increase or change in achieving your goal?
Well, I'm gonna try to do more research so I can actually like figure everything out
Okay.
and talk to my parents and you about like all the things I have to do.
Okay, that's great. So you mentioned me and your parents, both. Is there anybody else that you have in your support network?
Yeah, my sisters.
Okay, that's also a great resource. Is there anyone else that can help you? Are there maybe teachers that you have relationships with that can help you? Okay. And they can help you maintain these skills,
Mhm.
which were your communication
Mhm.
and your grades.
Yeah.
Okay. In the last week since we've talked, because we have talked about grades before, have you made any improvements with your grades?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about those?
I've raised my grades in like one of the classes that like I've been slacking in, I guess.
Okay. What class was that?
Spanish.
Okay. Was there a test or something?
Well, I've just been doing my homework and actually studying for tests. So.
Oh, that's great. Glad to hear it. Was homework something you were not completing before?
Mhm.
And that was on your grade?
Yeah.
Okay, so now completing them has improved?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Do you think that's something you're going to maintain? Keep doing that homework?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
try.
think that's a phenomenal start. So can you identify some of the possible outcomes of succeeding with your new behavior? So keeping up with your homework, studying for tests, what do you think that could do for you?
Actually help me get into a better school and a school I want to go to.
Yeah. That sounds like a great motivation. How could you reward yourself? Or how could we find a reward within our sessions for you maintaining this behavior and keeping your success? Anything that you could treat yourself with or that I could provide for you? Any incentive to keep doing your homework or are the grades enough?
The grades, I think.
Well,
are
that's
enough.
great.
Yeah.
That's really good. So, sounds like, you've realized why they're important.
Mhm.
And you are feeling accomplished by that? So
Yes.
how's that making you feel?
A lot better and like it makes me feel like I'm actually gonna get somewhere.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, maybe proud. You feel proud?
Yeah.
You should. Okay. Who will notice the improvements that you're making? Aside from yourself feeling proud, is there anybody else?
My teachers and parents.
That's really good. Have you talked to your parents about your grades? Have you mentioned that they're improving?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how have they responded?
They're happy.
That's good. How does that make you feel?
Really good.
Okay, so it sounds like you're making some improvements, you're seeing some changes, and you're feeling good about it?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, keep up the good work. I'm very glad we had some good news. How about your teachers? They'll notice that your grades are improving. How do you think they're going to feel?
Happy because they want me to do good.
Right?
So.
They're also going to feel proud. So, looks like you've had some pretty big successes this week with being proud of yourself and other people being proud of you. So, was there any other successes that you've had this week aside from bringing your grades up?
Talking to my parents that I did that and it went
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, so that was a change. That's another improvement that you've made since we last spoke. Okay. Did you make any plans to talk to them again about anything?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, so what's something that you would like to discuss with them next? Or you mentioned that they said they want to know about some schools, so maybe we talked about that being some of your homework. looking into some schools that are good for your major, which was criminal justice. So maybe that's something you could look into and discuss with them and show them again that that you do have that interest and you're willing to work for it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and there is one exercise I'd like to go through because our session started with you feeling a little bit of stress about the whole topic of college and specifically the conversations with your parents. So I'd like to go through a calming strategy. So this may seem silly or kind of basic, but we're going to give it a try, and maybe it'll be useful in your future. So I want you to close your eyes. Think of somewhere relaxing, somewhere happy. Picture that place with your eyes closed. Think about what you would see there, what you would taste, maybe a smell that goes along with your happy place. And just think about it for a few minutes before we open up your eyes again. Alright, so enjoy it and open up your eyes when you're ready. Alright, how do you feel now?
Good.
Do you feel a little bit more relaxed?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we did there took 20 seconds. So when you're feeling some kind of stress or anxiety or some pressure, that's something you can do. And if your feelings improve, that only took 20 seconds out of your day. So is that something you think you could use?
Yeah.
Use again?
Mm-hmm.
Just closing your eyes, thinking of your happy place, the details of it, and find some calm there for you. Okay. On that same topic of coping with stress, I have some examples of stress coping thoughts or self-talk. And if you look through this list, there are some things that you can think about. Preparing to cope, thinking there's nothing to worry about, confronting it, ideas like staying organized. So I'd like you to take a look through there. And maybe for each of the topics, you could tell me something that you can see yourself using or saying to yourself to cope with the stress.
I know I can do each one of these tasks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good one. What about for the next heading?
If I get tense, I will breathe and relax.
Okay, that's a good one too.
I can always talk to someone.
Okay.
I've got to tell someone about this.
Okay. So if you'd like to hold on to that, you can do that as well. Take both of those papers home and think about some of those ideas on confronting your stress,
Okay.
calming yourself before you have big tests, conversations with your parents. Do you think that could be useful for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Last thing I want to talk about is another homework assignment. So the first one I gave you was what?
Talking to my parents.
Okay. Yep. And maybe you can think about a reward
Okay.
before our next meeting. Something that maybe I could do for you, an incentive, or you could do for yourself. Take some time out for yourself as a reward for your accomplishments that we go through. And the last assignment I'd like you to complete is a vision board. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
No, you've never made one?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so what a vision board is like collage representing the things that you want in your life. So I'd like you to actually make a poster board
Okay.
and put some visual things on it, so visual goals. They can be anything: home, life, school, relationships, career, or education. I'd like to spend or make like a specific drive for things at home, school, career aspirations, and educational pursuits.
Okay.
You can include some other things on there, but I'd like to see one of each of those. So you're going to create an